Welcome back. Let's talk about stakeholders. So far, you obviously identified a problem or an issue, and you've looked around for some different solutions, and you're like, maybe this is an idea that I want to pursue. Somebody's going to have to implement that policy change. So stakeholders are key decision makers who have the power to make the policy change you're advocating for. And they are the most important people you're ever going to deal with. These could be mayors, these could be governors, these could be state legislatures, they could be just community leaders or nonprofits or what have you. There are a lot of different stakeholders that we want to be able to consider here. But keep in mind that you are currently a college student and you will not have the power to walk into the city and county of Denver and say, we're going to do this without the mayor's consent. Okay? Yeah. Somebody else is going to have to make this policy change, but we can advocate for it. So it's so important to be able to correctly identify who stakeholders are. We're going to create a power map. This is a rough outline. This is what's easy to visualize a power map as. It starts at the bottom with a problem or an issue, and it works its way up from very broad institutions to specific offices to specific people. And at the very top, we consider who are the influencers to those people. This is a really useful exercise in identifying stakeholders. A quick note, offices may just be subgroups of or subsections of an institution. Like an institution could be the Colorado government. An office more or less is the state legislature, if you get what I'm saying. Okay, so let's look at an example power map, and we'll take a little time to flesh this out. The problem or issue I identified in this one is it's too high housing costs for college students at DU. It should be added on there. And I said, well, okay, to deal with this, there are probably two main institutions that I could target, the University of Denver and the City and County of Denver. They will both have the power to be able to influence this issue. Within DU, the obvious office is DU administration. Housing has some power, but I'd say that to really get after housing costs for college students, I need to get to the administration. And within the administration, I said Chancellor Chop's an obvious target, and also Vice Chancellor Rodriguez. I think that she has some power to deal with this, as she deals with student life, and these are issues that are pressing to her. Influencers to Chop and Rodriguez are obviously DU students, but also the Board of Trustees, right? They have to report to a board. So both of those are key influencers. In the City and County of Denver side, we have the Office of Economic Development, which is headed up by Paul Washington, that's their executive director, and then the Denver Housing Authority. I included two people. First, Bob Prettyman, who's the COO of housing management there. I would say that he's probably pretty important if he's talking about housing management and development, as well as their executive director to make sure we don't cut out anyone. And the main influencers to both Paul and, well, really the OED and the DHA as a whole, obviously, are the mayor's office. That's a key influencer. I would say Denver residents have some weight as well, probably because Denver residents exert authority or influence over the mayor's office as well as everyone else. The reason that we construct a power map like that is to make policy more focused and powerful. It's to make sure that you're targeting the right person. So I could say that college students in Denver should have increased access to financial assistance to afford housing. True, that would be really great. But if I instead said the University of Denver should allocate $5 million each year for off-campus housing scholarships awarded based on financial need, that's really powerful. Not only do I obviously identify a specific plan of action and what people should do, but I say the University of Denver should do this. Or perhaps the Office of Economic Development of Denver, in conjunction with Denver Housing Authority, should substantially increase development of affordable housing in neighborhoods surrounding universities. Key actors: policy solution. Now, a substantial increase is very vague, and perhaps we could quantify that somehow, but so long as we can identify a key stakeholder, someone who actually has the power to do this, that is the most important part. So before the next video, complete a rough power map of key institutions, offices, and people involved in changing your policy. So in solving your issue, again, start with the problem or issue that you're focusing on and think about institutions that could be empowered to actually change that. And not all of them are the most evident, right? The Department of Labor for the United States does international work, okay? So don't restrict yourself in the obvious. Look around and see what institutions and offices are actually having an impact. And then identify the key actor you want to target in creating your policy. Say, okay, this is the person that has the most power and influence in actually solving this. So make sure to do both of those things, a power map and the key actor, before the next video.